It's actually quite funny. There's a Corsa just right there. So that's the Corsa Gamma, the one before the Corsa D. So the Corsa C, because I know there's B, C, D, E currently. So yeah, anyway, welcome to another episode of the Drive Show. In today's episode is going to be a rather interesting one, right? So I had this brilliant idea of having a project car that I'm going to make a daily. So I decided I'm going to look for something small, something that obviously has issues, because my budget was really minimal. Like I had, if I could find something that ticks my boxes for 10 grand, I would have bought it. Obviously understanding that something that cheap comes with problems, but I didn't really care about that stuff. I already had the idea that I want to bring the car that I'm going to buy back to life, restore it bit by bit, and get it to a point where I feel comfortable kind of dailying the car, right? Now, after months and months of looking on Facebook Market and WeBuyCars, my not so brilliant idea of buying a super cheap car landed me here at WeBuyCars, and I eventually won this Corsa 1.4 liter Enjoy, and I spent about 38,000 Rand, including the prices that WeBuyCars charges you when you buy a car on auction. Before I actually pulled the trigger on the car, I had already seen the Decker report. I saw it had a few issues with the engine. They did also note that the car has an engine light illuminated. Now, I had an idea that this could be a small issue or this could be a huge issue. I started off looking at engine prices for old cars, like for example for the Corsa and even for the 2006 Fiesta, because I was looking at both those cars and engines were roughly about 10,000 to 15,000 Rand. That was worst case scenario. I was going to have to spend more money to buy an engine. Now, after receiving the car, there were a few things that I automatically knew about before I even bought the car. There was a damaged right side A-pillar small window, damaged side mirror, and a dent on the right side of the front fender, which I didn't mind. Even the worn out paint, I knew I was going to have to fix that eventually. But there was a ticking noise on the engine, which sounded more like a timing chain. So I decided I will actually just go buy a timing chain, swap it out, and call it a day. The car will be perfect. Little did I know that the previous owner had just replaced the timing chain and it wasn't the timing chain. I then decided that maybe let me check the intake manifold flaps, and it wasn't those as well. The noise was definitely coming from right inside the engine. I then assumed it's bearing knock, and I didn't want to go up on a rabbit hole. After doing some research in forums, I just decided, you know what, I'll just buy another engine and swap it out with a fresher engine. Now that led us here. Yeah, this is crazy, man. Yeah. So we actually transported this engine in this car because I couldn't get a bakkie, and it was urgent because the shop was closing. But I saw this could fit actually in there. So yeah, still in one piece, looking good, looking clean. This will go on the Project Corsa, so that has to come here. And then we're going to do the whole engine swap thing. And all that was thanks to my boys for helping me get the engine from Johannesburg and deliver it here at Tato's house so that we can bring the Corsa and eventually get the engine swapped. So the whole front portion of the car is off now. Everything is over here. Now we're just trying to unbolt everything else is remaining here so we can just pull the engine out from the front. I want to actually disconnect the gearbox, put a jack on the gearbox, leave the gearbox there, and take just the engine out. I don't know how possible that will be whilst you're here, but that will be actually good. Now, the very next day, we got the car to Alberton from Pretoria. We were able to start removing the components of the car and all the wiring harnesses and everything that's connecting the engine to the car so we can remove the engine. Considering the fact that none of my boys had touched anything that has to do with cars, I was pretty much the only person here that had kind of experience working on the car, but had also never removed an engine from a Corsa. We decided the easiest way for us to successfully do this job was to separate the engine from the gearbox. Now, with enough manpower and a group of smart guys, we were able to come out with ways to easily remove the engine from the car. We did struggle a lot, so this was pretty much our entire day, and we called it a day so we can continue the very next day. But before We went away, we got some encouraging words from our team lead who did more than just watch us work.
Yeah, no. Reporting live, guys, for Mesh. This Corsa 1.4, it's been about a rough one. So basically, we got this engine out, and we put it here. Mind you, it's dark, guys. And now here we are. We're gonna put that tomorrow. Nah, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. But it's a good work from the team. The drive show. Nah, we're cooking something. Guys. We're cooking something, man.
Day 2 of working on the Corsa. Both engines are out now, so what I need to do is remove all I could salvage from that engine, put it on that engine now, and then from there on I'm going to take that engine, put it into this. There's a couple of new parts that I bought for that engine as well. New radiator, wanted to get an AC rad as well. I couldn't get it, sadly. I wanted to add these at the end of the video, but whilst I'm at it, I had to check the tappet cover in here because I saw one pipe was actually concerning. Went and checked, saw the tappet cover in there is fine. So I'm like, since I'm there, before I put that top coil pack rack, might as well just change the spark plugs. After literally taking the entire wiring harness apart there, I find out that this has 3 pins and that, let me show you guys, and this here has 5. I'm cooked. Nah, I can still salvage this though. I'm gonna actually have to take all this wiring loom from here, put it there. It's heartbreaking. I spent like what 40 minutes right now following the wiring diagram for that, and then I just found out this doesn't have some of the plugs. But this isn't a South African engine actually. This I think was from UK, if I'm not mistaken. That's why the wiring is slightly different. So I'm gonna have to take mine. Stripped out every wiring loom from this engine. Now I'm gonna take all the wiring loom from that engine, take some of the proper plugs that this doesn't have, move them over to that, or the ones that are a bit broken here. I'll get the clips and all that stuff from this wiring loom. And
After transferring everything I need from the previous engine to the new one and sorting out the wiring harness, the boys came over to help me put the engine back inside the car, which actually led us here.
We're revving up. Yeah. I sharp this could.
After priming the engine to build oil pressure, the car was cranking and kind of starting, but then would cut power. We didn't call it a night. We left. I had to come back, I think, the very following Tuesday to come sort out the car. Scan the errors. The issues were actually one of the mass airflow sensor. After swapping it in, pouring more gas into the car was starting.
project Corsa. We have started. I still have an engine light. I need to check. I think one of the sensors is not connected. And I was hearing a little bit of a ticking noise, but there's flaps at the back of there by the intake manifold. So there's flaps in there that keeps on flapping. That's where the noise is coming from. I want to monitor temperatures for now, see if this kind of runs quite fine. Then I'm going to drive it out maybe to the garage, get some gas filled up, and hopefully all should be good.
At this point, you'd assume that the car is completely done and job well done. But that wasn't the case. Now, although the car was revving, idling, and sounding smoothly, the engine was just immaculate. The car was not going in gear. I tried gear R, 1, and all the way up to 5. The car was just not engaging in any gears. I gave Washington from Streets Ride Garage a call. He gave me some insights on the gearbox and how they work and how to actually troubleshoot gearbox faults. I tried to bleed the gearbox. I couldn't really fully bleed it because I didn't have brake fluid for the clutch pressure. I then decided, you know what, I will come another day if I fail to get the clutch and the gears engaging. When the car's on, I'll just have to drop the gearbox. So when I came back to Alberton again, this is at this point the third day. Now, the third day going to Alberton to work on a car. Luckily, Joss volunteered to come help me out, and we were optimistic on getting the car correctly. We are going to drop the gearbox, see what the issue is, and hopefully fix it or replace the part that could be broken inside the gearbox and put the gearbox back on the car. And then when we took the gearbox down, we discovered this one mistake that I have done.
This man
I was in a rush. It was dark.
put on his clutch kit and didn't unbolt anything.
It was dark, bro.
Ah.
Bro, it's loose.
Ah.
Bro, it's loose, bro. It's loose.
No way.
It was dark, bro. I was tired.
Ah.
It was at night.
After a long day of dropping the gearbox and fixing my mess, then putting everything back together, we were successful and we could now say we accomplished a successful engine swap. Just a couple of guys in IT and one guy who happens to be an accountant have successfully done what most mechanics would charge over 10,000 Rand for. Project Corsa was back to life.
400,000 kilometers on this engine. When I hit 100,000.
You're gonna hit 400.
400.
You reckon?
400. That's crazy. How smooth it drives is just mad. This is crazy.
And just like that, I have my very own little Corsa shitbox, a car that I've always wanted to buy, a small little point A and point B car that I can always beat around and experiment on. And if you like this content, please like and subscribe. I will be posting a lot more videos on this car because it is not completely done yet. There's a lot of stuff that I'm not happy with. And before I leave, I'd like to say thanks to everybody that came together to help me get this car to where it is today. You guys are the best.